Welcome back, everybody. Here we go. This is now finally the first day of the semifinals, and we're going to bring it to you live from the Inven studios here in Gangnam, South Korea. This is the HearthStone Inven tournament, HIT, if you will. My name is Susie Kim. This is HearthStone, and yeah, we have some fantastic matches coming your way. Let's talk about this matchup.
The first matchup, we have a Team Zombie battle going on between Lojom and Dogok. These two have met before a couple of weeks ago, and Lojom was the first one to get a spot at the semifinals, and Dogok did lose to him. Actually, never mind. Dogok was in Group B, and Lojom was in Group A, so they never got to meet each other. But
no, you know what? I totally understand you because there's so many Team Sunbi players that I keep thinking, hey, didn't they play against each other? But yeah, I think you're right. There were a lot of Team Sunbi players.
Yeah,
so
it was
we're
actually Tangy who got defeated by Lojom at Group A.
Yes, yes. So Lojom made it, and it's again a Team Sunbi head-to-head, like team kill kind of scenario here. But yeah, Dogok, we saw him play yesterday, and was pretty dominating. How do you think he's going to do when he gets up against Lojom?
I do think the players who got here from the losers brackets, they definitely had much more pressure because they literally had one day to figure out what decks to bring for tonight's tournament.
That is true.
And this is going to be a best of 7 tournament starting from today, so people had to bring a lot of decks, and they need to grab 4 wins from their opponent to make it through. But this is a double elimination, so every player does get a second chance.
That is, I mean, this entire tournament has been double elimination style, and I think that's really great because sometimes, you know, you have a bad day, or sometimes you just don't get the hand you want. So it really allows for the players to show their skill sets, you know, show the way they play and how aggressive they could be, and give them a second chance for that. So I think that's really awesome. Like you said, best of 7s starting from today. So players brought in 5 decks apiece, right?
Yes, and I mean, I just cannot even assume how exhausting Translate and Dogok must be from yesterday's tournament, and to have very little sleep and just come up with new decks constantly, especially Dogok because he is going up against his teammates. So you really need to play some mind games and make sure that Lojom cannot really expect what decks to see from you.
Yeah, I was thinking about that because the players usually ask their teammates to help them out a bit. But when you're going up against your teammate, what do you do?
Well, I heard that they usually have a practice mate from each of the team, and they just choose like 3 people, and the other 3 people play for the other player.
Oh, okay. That's fair enough. Hey, guys. So before we hop into everything, we are here in the semifinals now. Finally, we are winding down this tournament. Here's the overview. The prize pool, first place, man, 5 million won. That's about $5,000 US, give or take the exchange rate, obviously. And yeah, first place gets 15 WCS points. Now, this event that has nothing to do with you guys is still on our screen and totally fine.
So we're just going to move on.
We're just going to move on. But it's basically an event for people who are here in the studio. If you're in South Korea, I would totally invite you guys to come down to the studio. We are in Gangnam. We're like right by the subway station. So you can tweet at me or HearthStone if you need directions to come down here.
Well, Zixo was here today.
Yeah, actually,
just
Zixo.
A couple hours ago.
I just saw Zixo earlier. He was doing his own show on some Korean show that he was doing for HearthStone, but I believe he went to do another show.
Really?
That man is a busy man. He came here. Oh no, he's not doing that. He's gonna go watch Kranish do a show.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So guys, here we go. Semi-final day. This is day number 1. Lojom versus Dogok, and then we have Icarus versus Transit. Then next week we'll have the winners match, losers match, and then Friday is going to be the semi-final final match, and that is exciting because those 2 guys, whoever wins, they're going to be the ones to go to the finals for that 5 million won prize pool and the 15 WCS points.
Yeah, and just a side note, I think it's kind of funny that 3 of the players here have IGNs that start with a lowercase instead of uppercase. It's a very Korean thing. They don't really care about the uppercase and the lower cases.
Is it actually that they are lowercase, or is it just like a typing error?
No, they actually set it up as lower cases because they don't know the difference between the upper cases and lower cases when naming themselves.
All right, well, here is our first contestant. This is Lojom from Team Sunbi. has been doing fantastic. He beat Transit to make it to this point right now, 3-2, and that was through the winner's bracket. And so, I mean, he's had a week or so, a little more than a week to practice and really come up with his decks. He even got to watch Transit play. He got to watch all of the other opponents and see how they do. I'm sure he definitely studied a lot of Dogok's moves, especially yesterday, just to see what he's going to be like.
And next, moving on, we have Dogok on the other side. He's also from Team Zombie, and both of these players have experience in defeating their own teammates. But yeah, this guy actually lost against Tail once, but he actually came back and had a clean 3-0 just yesterday.
Yeah, and I think that was kind of like a revenge. Like, I'm sure he felt really good about that. That was kind of like a revenge match in a way. Because like you said, after the game last week, Dogok was saying how he was kind of salty. He was kind of annoyed by how, the manner that he lost.
Kinda. He was very salty.
He was very salty. But yeah, so he was able to get that win, 3-0 clean, and wow. We're going to take a look at this community vote on our screen, and
I think this is the closest one we have ever seen so far.
I think so too.
Yeah.
52-48. What do you gather from this?
Lojom is definitely the undefeated person in this tournament so far, and that explains the 52% versus 48%. Obviously, no such thing as team favorite because they are both from Team Zombie.
Well, I mean, yesterday you did say Dogok has his own fan base that's pretty hefty as well.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but maybe some of the fans left after he lost one match against Tail once. I have no idea.
All right. Well, I mean, as we head into it, let's see here. Lojom and Dogok, two players on the same team. Like we saw, community has no idea who they want to win. It looks like, okay, for me it's 50-50. Maybe Lojom has a bit more favor. I don't know, maybe he called in a couple favors or something. But we'll have to take a look at the first game.
Moving on to the bans and picks.
Ooh, like we said, guys, they brought in 5 decks. Lojom, it seems, his warrior deck has gotten banned, while the priest for Dogok.
Yeah, so Lojom has Shaman, Hunter, Druid, and Warlock. Dogok has Warrior, Rogue, Druid, and Warlock. So, given the fact that Lojom has banned the priest, makes me wonder if Lojom brought all aggressive decks from his line of classes today.
Well, he was playing very aggressively 2 weeks ago when we were watching him. It just seemed he likes to have that fast control, and it wouldn't surprise me if those are the kind of decks that he brought for today.
Yeah, it's just really funny because both Lojom and Icarus, who we are going to see in the next match, they're known for their slow control decks. But these people are actually bringing the fast-paced decks, aggressive decks, saying that the control decks don't really have an aggro decks anymore.
All right, well, I like that. I'm a face of the aggro decks. I'm a fan of hitting the face as much as possible. So, hopefully, I'll be able to see a lot more of that.
A lot of smork.
I'm excited for that. Yeah, so these two guys have prepared. I'm really happy to see Hunter, and we had Rogue on the other side, right? So kind of changing it up. We'll always see that Zulok.
Yeah,
I'm assuming it's a Zulok.
Yeah, we did see some Rogue last week as well, but half of the deck, one of the decks was a Miracle Rogue, whereas the other one was a Nizoth Death Rattle deck. So I'm really interested to see which one the players have brought and see which deck they think is stronger in the current meta.
All right. Again, this meta, it is fun to see how the players can try to deviate from standard decks, see if they can add their own flavor or touch to them. And it's going to be interesting to see what they have here. I believe
what a shame that we can't see Priest from Dogok tonight.
It'll be different. But hey, we're going to get into game number 1. Oh, in just a second.
We're still going on, so we're going to wait for 2 more seconds.
All right, guys, here we go. Game number 1, Lojom versus Dogok. And we have Hunter versus Warlock.
So once again, Dogok has decided to bring a Zulok. I think he has been sticking with the Zulok for all 3 weeks now, and Lojom stack seems like a regular mid-range hunter with the Call of the Wild, Savannah High Main, perhaps.
Okay, Hunter. Here we go. Need to organize my notes.
This matchup is pretty difficult for the mid-range hunter unless they have the Knife Juggler and Unleash the Hounds combo, which did happen twice last week. But I don't know if it's going to be the case for Lojom because a lot of people have been using only one copy of Unleash the Hounds, and a lot of people have been cutting out that Knife Juggler.
Okay, well, Lojom is contemplating what to keep here. Oh. Not too bad. That's a very good first hand for
both
Dogok.
of the players, really. Yeah, Lojom has pretty sick curve. He just needs like, I don't know, animal companion or a bow.
Okay, he's gonna go with that bat. Fiery bat first, and Dogok.
I like the Possessed Villager here. I don't know if it's going to be worth it to coin out Voidwalker as well, because you definitely want to coin out the Darkstar Councilman at turn 2, especially when the Death Metal minion survives on the board, so it doesn't just die to Deadly Shot.
Okay, well, it seems that he's taking your advice.
So Lojom has Urgent Squire in his deck, and this makes me think that maybe this is a more fast-paced mid-range hunter that Amnesiac has been using on ladder. And for some reason, our screen is gone.
Oh. Yep, sorry guys, a little bit of technical difficulties here.
But yeah, we are looking at a secondary screen, so we should be able to still cast the game. I mean, Lojom definitely has a couple options. He can go for, well, pretty much either of the 2-drops. I like trying the Flame Juggler. Try to get the 50-50 on Possessed Villager.
Flame Juggler or the...
I mean, I guess you could argue for, wow, he's even going to trade himself. Is this worth it?
I was thinking the huge toad might... okay.
Well, I thought he was going to play any of the 2-drops and go face with the Fire Bat, but okay.
When in doubt, go face. That's my advice to you guys. Don't listen to my advice.
Well, I don't think it was really worth it to kill it. Even if he was scared about Dire Alpha Wolf, then the Fire Bat was going to take care of it. I don't think that trade was really necessary, but Lojom did play the huge top because he wants to play around Abusive Surgeon a little bit.
Okay, so Dogok here.
So this is a tricky situation for Dogok. If he coins out the Darkstar Councilman, then there's a chance that his minion is just going to die to Kilkuman. So that's why he is going to take it a little bit slow.
Oh!
But the Abusive Surgeon falls down.
Yes, he does. That was a bit unfortunate there, but he's got a healthy Voidwalker on the board now.
This hand, though, it's a little tricky because you never want to see Doomguard and Soulfire in the hand together. Wow.
But on Lojom's end...
I think Lojom should just use Deadly Shot and play the Urgent Square, but he decides to take it a little bit slow.
Infested Wolf instead. Yeah, he's just going to try to build up his board here. At this point, does Dogok just go for a Dark Peddler and see what card he can get?
I think the Forbidden Ritual is pretty good too. Even if he trades into the Wolf, Lojom is gonna have to. I don't know. I think you should just go face with a Councilman. I mean,
Face?
yes, you are a bit worried about. Okay, so Dogok just trying to play around everything. He's just trying to play around Knife Juggler, Unleash the Hound. He's trying to play around Deadly Shot and Kilkuman, and just trying to play around everything. I don't know if I necessarily agree with this route.
You know, before Zixo left the studio, he gave me really good advice, which was, if you don't know, if you're unsure about something,
Go face.
just go face. And
That's
I said,
what he tells everyone.
I was like, thank you, Zixo. I will heed your advice.
Yeah, I think it's really worth it to coin
Go
out
face.
the Forbidden Ritual. Yeah, and this way, lojom doesn't really have a great target. Well,
Okay.
I guess he can. I guess lojom can trade himself, and then use a deadly shot. He can even play the Flame Juggler and try to get lucky. As long as the Flame Juggler doesn't hit.
Oh, he's going to go for the
What?
Animal Companion instead.
So confused. Why is he waiting on the deadly shot so much?
Okay, so Flame Juggler and the Animal Companion. Trying to figure out what lojom's thought process is here.
Yeah, I'm very confused.
All right, I mean, it just
Because the longer you wait against Zulog, the more likely it is for them to play more of those little minions and
Right.
establish the board. And it's much more likely for your deadly shot to go to waste. So I'm so confused about this line of play.
and he's just gonna go face to
No,
the,
he's definitely gonna kill a minion.
All right.
Oh,
You're
this
right.
is a sick Doomguard turn.
Doomguard. I mean, that's definitely, if you're going to lose a card, that's definitely one that.
Yeah, or just Guru. Who
It's
cares
not too
about that?
bad.
It's not a defensive Argus.
And already
How
the
about
Councilman's up to
trading
5/5.
with Doomguard with Misha and going face with the Councilman and killing maybe a
spider.
one Spiderling? He's maybe thinking about killing another Spiderling as well. I mean, yes, you are missing a lot of damage that way, but that way you actually keep your Doomguard safe and you don't leave any beasts on the board. So I think it might be worth it to actually kill this 1/1 Spiderling.
Instead of going face.
Yeah. That way you can actually protect your Doomguard. Like, yes, you are not dealing that 5 damage to face, but that way you can save a 5 damage minion on board.
All right, Dogok is definitely
Yeah,
trying
even kill
to.
command is be a clean, would be a clear on this board. So yeah, I think it's definitely right to kill this 1/1 spider.
What does?
Lojom
Oh,
did get it, so actually he can still clear the board by using the kill command on Doomguard and using the deadly shot to kill off the Councilman. I
Here
guess
we
he
go.
did get to kill the Councilman.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if he used a deadly shot beforehand, I don't know.
I mean, again, we couldn't have seen that coming. We had no idea that he was going to draw that card. And
No, the deadly shot was always there.
no, the deadly shot, but the kill command.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that if lojom just used a deadly shot earlier on, I think that could have been a lot better.
Okay. It worked out for him that turn. And now.
Lojom doesn't really have a good minion to play on board, unfortunately. The Urgent Squire is such a good target against in-game boss, which is why he decides to use Kill Command. This is a pretty desperate move. Dogok just needs something like Sea Giant or the second Doomguard,
Oh, but no,
but
Possessed
not
Villager.
these 1-drops. Even Knife Juggler could have been pretty good in this.
Right, with
Fourth
all
stage,
the,
yeah.
all the 1-drops coming up. That would have been very helpful.
But the huge difference between Hunter and Warlock is that Hunter's hero power deals 2 damage while Dogok can constantly draw cards and find new answers for the board state.
Right.
So if this match gets longer, then Dogok is definitely going to have an edge because he has much higher chance of drawing cards like Sea Giant or Doomguard.
Okay, well, and then goodbye, Abusive Sergeant. Dogok is going to tap again.
Yeah, another endgame boss it is going to be pretty good against all the small minions that Lojom might play in the future turns.
Okay, what did he get
Ooh,
here?
that's a good one,
nice.
too.
Motor Coil is going to help him out.
I don't think Dogok should play that Flame Imp ever from this point. He's too low, but definitely play the Inven boss. And he's trying to play around Unleash the Hound just a little bit by suiciding in his 1/1 minion instead of the Possessed Villager.
Oh, speaking of
the cards to play
speaking
around.
of which, I mean, Lojom.
I think Lojom has to hold on to this Unleash the Hound if he has Knife Juggler. I don't know if he does. Is he going to use that and just go face with everything? But this is still not going to be lethal, even with Kill Command top deck, if Dogok kills everything.
Oh, tough choice here.
Unless Dogok taps. Dogok might have to tap here because he has such a little impact on his board. And he's really desperate for cards like Defender of Argus or Doomguard, Sea Giant. So there's a chance that he might tap.
Would it be, and I'm just asking hypothetically, if he used the Crazed Alchemist to switch around the Imp Gang boss, and then just goes
he has to kill everything
4?
if he wants to play around Kill Command. It's really about how much he wants to play around Kill Command and Quick Shot.
He already used both kill commands, though, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he did.
He did, yeah.
But Lojom probably has Quick Shot left.
He has 1 quick shot left, and he's used both kill commands. So yeah, he's actually doing what I had thought so.
Right now, and he actually runs 2 Quick Shots, and he has another Urgent Horse Rider, another Animal Companion, and Unleash the Hound. Unleash the Hound is obviously going to be lethal.
Right. But yeah, he did what I thought he would, just get that extra 2 damage. Go face.
Lojom does not have 1 damage.
No, he does not.
But does Dogok have enough? That is a question. That is definitely
That's
lethal.
Perfect. That's
Unless
11.
the dogs kill both of the minions.
Yep.
Does he still have lethal? No, the Dogok is actually 1 off lethal if the dogs kill everything.
Okay, the dogs are going to...
Okay, this way, he actually removed a lot more damage.
Oh, I wish that Knife Juggler came out earlier so he could have played that with the Forbidden Ritual.
So obviously Dogok can't play anything more than just a Knife Juggler or tap. Okay, Lojom still needs 1 more damage. He has so many answers. Horse Rider,
But what's
shot,
he's
quick
got?
shot.
What does he have?
Oh! That is not immediate damage.
Nope, he was so close. So close. Dogok just held on for 1 more round, banking on the fact that he wouldn't top deck something that was going to kill him. And wow, here we go. We have the first winner. Dogok looks super happy about that win as Lojom contemplating what had happened.
Yeah, I'm looking at Lojom's deck list right now. So he had 2 quick shots. He had 1 Animal Companion, Huff for a Chance.
Yeah.
And 1 Urgent Horse Rider, 1 Unleash the Hounds, and 2 Call of the Wild. And none of those cards got drawn 2 times in a row.
That's so sad.
He even had tracking, so if he just had tracking, then he definitely increased his chance of drawing the lethal. But wow, that's just... I mean, I guess that's just what happens if you never draw into yourself on a high main.
Yeah,
or
that's right.
Yeah,
that's
Call
gosh. Like I said, Dogok just banked on the fact that he wouldn't draw something. Just went face, held on for 1 round, and it worked out for him. So yeah, Dogok wins that first game. Lojom, you think there's something he could have done better? Oh, like you said, maybe use the. Was it the quick shot earlier?
Shot?
The deadly shot. Maybe use that earlier.
Yeah, I think that could have been better because that way his minions could have survived on the board a little bit longer.
All right, well, we will have to take a look here. Let's go into game number 2. Druid versus Warrior.
So this looks like a token Druid. Probably uses Yogg-Saron. We need to wait and see if that is true. And mid-range Warrior from Dogok.
Okay, Druid versus Warrior. Taking a look here. What does he keep?
Well, this could also be a Beast Druid from Lojom, which he has used in the first week of Hit Tournament. Is Lojom going to keep his Valor Teacher in hopes of drawing Innervate?
Maybe.
That is so risky.
No. I
No,
guess
he's not going to take that risk.
Gonna play it
I'm
nice and
a little
safe.
surprised that he's even keeping the Living Roots there, because that card is not as effective against Warrior specifically, so I don't know why he decided to keep that.
Ooh, we're gonna start with the Finley, and he decides to go for the ping.
See, this is what I mean. It has a 1/3 minion on the board. Like, what are you gonna do? You can't really make saplings here and ask for the free trees. I don't know why he kept that card, whereas where he could have mulliganed it and got something like Innervate or Wild Growth.
It looks like he ended up with the Violet Teachers anyway.
Yeah, and he got 2 of them.
Yeah.
That is pretty unlucky.
So yeah, pretty tough situation for Lojom to be in here.
Yeah, especially with this Mage Hero part, even if you use the Living Roots and try to use the Mark of Yashars, there's just 0 chance that the saplings are going to be surviving. And Dogok should be aware of what Lojom is bringing in. Yeah, like he should definitely play around Mark of Yashars, because Lojom does like playing his Beast Druid a lot.
All right, he's gonna have to.
He is actually dealing 2 damage instead, and set up for the hero part lethal on the Sir Finley.
Dogok is now contemplating here.
That actually worked out really well for Lojom, because Dogok can't play his Taskmaster or Ravaging Ghoul in the following turn either. And a
So he's
second copy of Living
I was gonna say he
Roots.
just got another Living Roots. Oh boy.
Lojom is probably going to hero power here. I don't think it's worth it to play Living Roots and give a target for the Frothing Berserker to get buffed up.
Just wants to use his face to get rid of it. Okay. Frothing Berserker.
So if Lojom coins out his Valor Teacher here, trying to think of the course of actions that would happen afterwards.
If he coins out the Violet Teacher, Frothing Berserker.
I mean, that is his only line of play here. He has to coin out the
Yeah, I was
Valor
like
Teacher.
either that or Living Roots, but I don't think that's really going to be beneficial to him here.
Because Dogok has Ravaging Ghoul at hand, why don't yeah, I think he should just play the Twilight Guardian here. Are you really scared about Valor Teacher? I mean, I guess Power of the Wild is going to buff up the apprentices to a 2/2 instead of just 1/1, and maybe that's why he's trading here. Oh man, I just hate it when the Berserker goes to waste. He just represents so much damage.
I was thinking the same thing, but you know what? It was worth it for him to just clear the board. I think at this point, Dogok just wants to make sure that Lojom doesn't have anything that he can play.
Yeah, and if Lojom plays a second Valor Teacher here, he doesn't really have a way to play around the Blackwing Corruptor. We know that Dogok doesn't have it yet.
Oh, he's... Okay, just gonna get rid of...
So he's gonna living Roots, and wow, even Savage
Roar.
Roar to kill both minions on board. So Lojom's taking this approach because he's saying that, hey, I know that you probably don't have any minion at hand that I'm gonna have a tough time dealing with, and if I don't play anything, then maybe you're just gonna play your Blackwing Corrupt and I can just swipe it down. But actually, Dogok has a lot more starting minions than that. And I like the fact that Dogok is playing 2 minions over just playing
One big
one
one.
Twilight Guardian.
Okay. The Druid of the Claw on the board.
Deathwing. And the mid-range Dragon Warrior. Some people do use this card, and I mean, some people use one copy of Brawl in their mid-range warrior, but Deathwing is basically a better Brawl to have as a mid-range warrior because you're never going to use this card unless you're so desperate for a win. You're like so desperate that you have to do it, and you might as well use Deathwing over Brawl.
I was having a conversation earlier with some of the players about the Draconic Crusher. It just doesn't make you just so sad when it gets on the board and it's not a 9/9.
Well, I mean, I'd be sad about it if I was playing against Mage, but against Druid, I'm more than happy about a 6/6. That is still a really tough minion for Druid to deal with. Against Mage, it's like one fireball and then it's gone.
But it could be a 9/9. So we're going to go with another Violet Teacher here on Lojom's side.
I guess he's going to use a Mark of Vishars here and buff it up to 5/7. It just died to the hero power from Dogok. Oh, that is actually really good. So he gets another 2/2 slime minion on the board and gets to play a taunt. I mean, he can't really play around swipe at this point. But with both of the living roots gone, how is Lojom going to deal with this 3/6 Twilight Guardian?
Well, we'll have to take a look to see what this Raven Idol is going to bring him.
If this gets in Wrath or Living Roots, then he can actually clear everything except for the 2/2 slime.
Alright, what's he? Oh.
I don't think Soul of the Forest is going to be coming handy anytime soon, so it's probably going to go for either Nourish or Mulch.
Or Mulch.
With this given hand with double swipe, I think it is a good idea to keep the Nourish. But this is a turn 8 for Dogok in the following turn, so Lojom is definitely scared about cards like Grommash Hellscream or Ragnar's, and he might feel pressure to pick Mulch over Nourish, but I think he should still go for Nourish.
The Nourish. Okay. So what's he put down on the board? He can't... Oh, he's just going to swipe?
Yeah, he's going to swipe down and set up for the second swipe next turn, maybe. I don't know. The issue is that he is only at 8 mana next turn also, so if he uses swipe next turn, then he cannot use either Druid of Claw or Nourish.
Oh, that's nice. The Azure Drake just gives him another card
I guess
draw.
the Deathwing is pretty handy because it is continuously giving that dragon buff to all the cards that he is going to have at hand.
What does he... Oh!
He got Innervate, so he can
Nice.
actually use everything.
Alright, so first we're going to swipe. He's got both of them in his hand.
Yeah, I like setting up the Druid of Claw here and use Nourish, save the Nourish for the next turn.
Oh, gosh. So now Dogok, he's just staring at the Deathwing.
Yeah, he's only 1 mana off. I think he's going to play both minions and maybe even make a first attack into the Druid of Claw. I don't think it's worth it, though, if he played Deathwing. Well, I mean, I don't think it should matter if he is going to play Deathwing next turn, but yeah, there's just no point in attacking into this, right? I mean, unless Lojom rests this and then Dogok has another sick minion to play, then yes, maybe it's actually better to make an attack. But yeah, he's just gonna hold it, yeah.
Keep it alive.
Stranglethorn Tiger. That is another proof that this is a beast druid after all.
Alright, he's gonna go ahead and draw a couple cards here. Or a few, since couple implies it's 2. That's 3 cards. And... All right, he's got the 10 mana.
He's just going to take it a little bit slower because lojom just did draw a lot of cards from the north. So he's asking lojom to overcommit to the board a little by little and then sweep the board afterwards. Yeah, and I think it's a smart idea to even keep this vendor alive. Well, he didn't really have a way to deal with that, but he's saying, hey, just like use as many spells and play as minions as you can.
Lojom just trying to really be able to make his side of the board a bit more hefty.
Yeah, and 2 out of the 3 options are beasts, so...
yeah.
He does have one more copy of Mark of Your Stars left, or did he use both of them?
I believe he has one more left.
Yeah, so he could use it in a synergy combo way if he gets that. Yeah, he's probably going to go for either of the big minions. It doesn't really matter which one he chooses.
Which one are you going for, sir? He's going to go for the big one. And then the spell? What do you want?
Not that bad either. Wild Growth is another draw, but he is going to go for the Power of the Wild because he has a Vander effect going on right now. And, all right. Lojom, get wrecked.
Oh, you're right. Dogok really was just sitting there waiting for him to overcommit. Oh, dear.
I mean, who cares about that Blood to Icar? It's time for Deathwing.
Boom.
Oh, that's such a satisfying feeling.
So clean. It's like you
I know.
swiped out everything.
Lojom actually does not have answer to this Deathwing. He
No?
threw away his mulch, and he got Nourish instead. And this is going to be it for Dogok, and he leads by 2-0.
Wow. Dogok again, cool, calm, collected towards the end. Just was able to win that out, that Deathwing. Wow.
Yeah, and the fact that he held on to the Deathwing at turn 10, and he actually played his minion and got the pirate weapon, and try to clear the board a little bit, and make Lojom overcommit to the board as much as possible by leaving the Vander alive.
Yeah, I really like that. He left it alive, made Lojom feel like, hey, you don't have anything. I'm going to go ahead and just...
Hey, you don't have Brawl, but did you expect to see Deathwing from me?
Oh, gosh, I'm pretty sure he wasn't. I would really like to know what Lojom's reaction was to seeing that Deathwing.
Yeah, and some of my stream viewers have recommended using Deathwing in my Dragon Tempo deck, and I just laughed it off when I first heard about it because Deathwing seems like such a troll card. But because Dragon Warrior, they do lack in the card draw so much because they don't use cards like Battle Rage, I guess I can see the value in it, especially giving that Dragon buff constantly when it's sitting at your hand.
Are we going to be seeing more of this Deathwing in your streams?
Maybe.
All right.
I don't think I've ever used Deathwing in like any of my games ever.
Really?
No. I just don't believe in that card. And I mean, only a couple months ago, BGH was still a card, so everyone used to play it. And you never want to play Deathwing or put it in your deck.
Has Dogok made you a believer? Has he converted you to the Deathwing?
I mean, so far so good. Who uses BGH nowadays, right?
I have
Except
no
for,
idea.
Like Reno Warlock. That is the only deck that actually uses that.
All right. Well, you know what? Dogok is ahead now, 2-0. And remember, guys, this is a best of 7, so we're going to have to see who wins up to 4 first. But, you know, his warrior deck has been very successful, and I'm really happy to see that because we've always seen warriors get banned out in this tournament. Very, very happy to see that had worked out for him. But here we go, guys. We're going to get into the next game. It is Lojom versus Dogok here, the HearthStone Inven tournament, game number 3.
Oh, this is the worst match for Rogue. This is a nightmare for Rogue.
Oh.
Aggro Shaman versus Miracle Rogue. And this is definitely an Aggro Shaman.
So Dogok here with the Rogue deck.
I'm actually surprised that Lojom decided to mull away the Doomhammer. That is one of the few cards that I actually keep against Rogue. You can use it as a removal card. You can use to sport down the opponent as soon as possible and put the Rogue on a clock.
Alright, Shaman.
Dogok does have the backstab and a Psy agent combo, but I wonder how effective that card is going to be just yet.
All right. We saw Transit use a rogue deck yesterday, in fact, that helped him go ahead and secure this spot in the semifinals.
Yeah, and given the fact that Dogok was using Journey Below, this seems to be a Death Rattle, N'Zoth, and Miracle Rogue combination, hybrid type of rogue.
Okay. So turn 2, Dogok wanting to continue his win streak here. Definitely needs to take some time and think about what he's going to do. He's going to Hero Power.
Yeah, this is definitely a Death Rattle minion deck with N'Zoth in it. But unfortunately, Dogok does not run any taunt card in his deck, so he's just going to have to find one from the second Journey Below, I guess.
Ooh, what are the chances? Oh gosh, that's tough. Lojom here. Well,
I like playing the Urgent Horse Rider here over Hero Powering and Tunnel Trog. The Divine Shield makes it difficult for Dogok to deal with, and the fact that Dogok made an attack into the Surfing Lane last turn, he's saying, hey, I have backstep SI agent, so you need to play around that a little bit.
yeah. So how does Lojom respond to what he
the
knows about
Urgent Horse
Dogok?
Rider does... Wow, he actually goes for
Feral
the Feral
Spirit?
Spirits. So Lojom's not gonna play Flame with Faceless at turn 4. I guess that's a smart thing, kind of.
Right.
Because a lot of times a Flame with Faceless is just gonna get sapped and you're not gonna have much to play afterwards. And this way, even after Lojom gets SI, backstab and SI, he still has another minion on the board and he has the Lightning Bolt to kill the 3/3 SI agent. I guess that was a very heads up play by Lojom by playing that Feral Spirits at turn 3.
Interesting. Okay, so he draws an Eviscerate here. Dogok really contemplating. You could see his facial expression. He's making a ton of different calculations right now in his head to see what the best possible hand would be.
Dogok could have coined out the Azure Drake and try to get lucky with a second backstep, but he knows that the chance is so low, so he's just going to take it much safer and just Evis down the Tunnel Trog.
He's that Eviscerate.
Is it finally time for Lojom to play the Flame with Faceless, or is it going to take it even slower?
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
he can just
like
play
you
it
said,
here, and if he gets sapped, then he can play it again, right? So why not play it?
he's going for it. I'm going to put 2 to the face.
Oh, Dogok does not have any follow-up after the stop because he already used 2 of his 3 drops.
All right, well, he also has a second sap in his hand. I don't know if he's going to go ahead and try to get rid of that again.
This is going to be really helpful. So we do get to see a N'Zoth in here.
He is going to use that sap again.
I mean, yeah, this sucks, but you at least got rid of 2 saps, so you can actually, you know for a fact the more Flame Faceless you are going to play, they're not going to get sapped anymore.
Right, of course. And this is actually funny because you guys can see here, Lojom has actually drawn his second one. When he gets to a point where he could throw down both, it's almost like, hey, Dogok, you have no more saps. What are you going to do?
But I don't think it's really a good play to replay your Flame with Faceless here. Lojom could go for something like... I don't know, he has so many options right now.
Yeah, oh gosh. So you can do the faceless card. He could... Wow, I can't. Yeah, he has a ton of different options.
Yeah, he can do something like Totem Golem, Feral Spirits, or he can do Totem Golem and Lava Burst. Okay, goes for the Lava Burst. It is going to give the deadly poison effect to the weapon. This seems to be a perfect turn to use the Drake.
For Dogok?
Yeah.
Just see what kind of draw he can get here.
It's very unlikely for him to find the second backstab or eviscerate because he has already used 1 copies of each card. And I don't know if you want to use the eviscerate even if you get it because you know that the flame with faceless is going to come down sooner or later.
You got the Undercity Husker.
Joe does have a pretty strong board at this point.
I'm just going to go 3 to the face.
I don't know if this weapon attack is really worth it.
He's really contemplating it, it seems. And, oh, he's going to go for it. 3 to the face. Make Zixo proud. And again, Lojom just has a plethora of different things that he can do at this point. He's just going to go ahead and put the Tunnel Chalk down.
So because this is a Death Rattle Nizoth Rogue from Togo, he doesn't have cards like Cold Blood or Leary Jenkins, those burst damage, so...
I mean, this Fan of Knives, I'm not sure it's going to...
Yeah, the Fan of Knives is actually pretty good. It's going to give him a card. It's so much better than just playing Auctioneer and not doing anything else. That is actually a pretty good drop from Dogok.
Alright, Fan of Knives.
Eviscerate? No.
No. But at least with the Drake, get another chance at a card.
Yeah, you can even check out the Death Rattle and see what you get first. Bloodlust. I guess that is the source of burst damage that you were really looking for as Nizoth Rogue. But it's only going to come in handy when he has enough minions in the board.
Bloodlust. All right, let's put down the Drake, see what kind of card we get.
What if Dogok uses his weapon to kill the Flame with Faces? I thought it was worth taking the 7 damage, but... okay, Dogok disagrees with me. Maybe he's scared about cards like Doomhammer, which Lojom gets immediately.
Of course.
But I think it's actually better to play the second Faceless and play one of the 3 drops instead.
Either the Feral... oh, yeah. Feral Spirits would give him taunts on the board. Tusker.
If he goes for the Feral Spirits, then he would have it overloaded by 4, and I guess he doesn't want to do that.
Oh, very nice.
That is a pretty good one to have.
Mana Tide. And what does he get here? Thing from Below is a pretty good card to have in your hand. Dogok knows this is an uphill battle.
Yeah. How is he gonna deal with this 7/7 on the board? He can't. He just has to.
All right, Edwin Van Cleef on the board.
Kill. All right, so this way he's actually leaving the Mana Tide up for 1 more turn, and hopefully it's just 1 more turn instead of just like 2 or 3 turns. Oh, Thing from Below is pretty sweet too.
Yeah, it's a very good card for him to get earlier from that Mana Tide draw.
Unfortunately, he cannot play Thing from Below and play Doomhammer at the same time. So I guess he's going to go for something like Doomhammer and Feral Spirits.
7 to the face. Oh.
And go... is he going to go face with everything?
Doomhammer. Yeah, Doomhammer to the face.
Yeah, I don't know if it's really worth it to kill even the Drake because, wow.
And a draw gets that Rock Biter as well.
Yeah, that by itself represents 10 damage, and the
Bloodlust
by itself is going to be Is this? I don't think this is. Oh, this is lethal. Actually, this is
Bloodlust.
exactly lethal.
Wow. Oh, I didn't see he had the deadly poison in there as well.
Yeah, if lojom played Feral Spirits, then he could have avoided this lethal. I don't know why he played the Horse Rider instead. I'm not really sure about that.
You know, this is the most stressed out I think I've seen Dogok. Even when he was playing against Tail and losing in that Druid match, he didn't seem as concerned almost. Here, it really feels like every play that he does and every just everything that lojom is throwing at him, it's really mattering a lot to him. And I'm wondering why do you think that is? Is it because he's a fellow teammate, or
Are you talking about lojom or Dogok? Because
Dogok, I'm sorry. Dogok seems really stressed out to me. Like, not stressed out, but he just seemed very concerned about what lojom was doing.
Oh yeah, definitely. He definitely has this match, and he just got the 3-0. He just needs one more win. And I mean, I don't know, but like still, lojom, is this the pressure from the broadcast? I have no idea what's going on with him, but I'm not really sure why he thought it was safe to not play the Feral Spirits. I mean, yes, this was a Nizoth rogue, and there is only going to be a limited amount of damage coming from you, but he did play the Huckster, Understudy Huckster, and I mean, Dogok was playing very aggressively. He was threatening lethal for a couple turns from before, and I'm not really sure why he didn't take it a little bit slow and safer.
It is interesting. Lojom did go face. You know, he was just trying to test his luck, maybe? I'm not sure.
I agree with going face, but I think you had to set up your taunts at least.
A little bit better.
Yeah, you already have so much damage at hand. You had a 7/7 on the board. He had Lava Burst, and he actually got the Rockfire weapon from the Manti Totem too, which you didn't get to see, but like still, I don't really understand why he was in a rush so much.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It just seemed I don't know. Dogok seems to really be knowing his opponent, though, and possibly just baiting him out to make those kind of decisions. But as we go into game number 4, this is it. Lojom really needs to pull his weight and put something on the board right now. Otherwise, he's just going to go ahead and let Dogok win this and make it out.
Yeah, and the Druid versus Zulug matchup, it has become a lot better for the Druid, in my opinion, because the Cthulhu Druid especially, they have a lot of taunt minions with great stats, and of course, like both Living Roots and Wrath, those are extra removals, and Disciple of Cthulhu too, that's another extra removal in the early stages of the game.
Okay, we're going to start things off with the Possessed Villager. Lojom really needs...
Wow, Dogok even gets a swipe here. I wonder if Lojom is trying to... Dogok is trying to play his swipe in the following turn by doing this. You usually don't want to play your swipe just yet. That's a pretty sick draw, too.
All right, well, let's see what this Raven's Idol is going to get us here.
Innervate would be pretty sweet.
Imagine that.
Swipe is another pretty sweet draw.
What could it be?
Wrath is fine too. Feral Rage is not bad either.
Would you go for another Raven Idol and test your luck?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna just choose from the other two.
The other two.
Because they are immediate removal. He does go for the Feral Rage. Unfortunately, that card is not going to be coming that handy anymore. Especially against this Voidwalker.
Voidwalker, Ardent Squire. He's just he's just unloading his entire hand.
Yeah, right before the Doomguard turn at turn 5. So I think Dogok has to use some kind of AoE. Yes, Swipe is a card to do, and he does get the Living Roots as a top deck. This guy just top decking everything, but will he find the answer to Doomguard at turn 5?
Oh, Doomguard and Voidwalker's the one that...
Yep, that's a Doomguard at turn 5. What can I do? Oh,
Very nice. Gets that
Dogok
innervate.
can go for the innervate rag right now and try to get lucky.
Is that what he does?
I think so, because he can use a kind of rage next turn and get that 8 additional armor if he wants to, so he feels fine about this line of play. It's 25% chance of... Still better than going face.
Alright, Lojom's going to tap. What's he have? Ooh, power overwhelming.
So I think Lojom definitely has to start going face at this point and just ignore the rag. But we know that Dogok has that 8 armor to play.
He sure does.
So he's definitely gonna
Wrath.
use Fair Rage. He's debating between using Wrath for 1 damage and get an additional draw. He does go for that route.
And he gets another swipe. Okay.
Right.
This
Which
is
one
interesting.
Is it
Come
going to
on,
be?
Rag. Oh, no.
That is still the second best target.
Yep. Doomguard still survives, though.
Defensive Argus, that is a pretty sick top deck too. I like using the Argus on the 1/1 minion as well to play around swipe a little bit.
Oh, gosh. Dogok is now at 10. Oh, wow. He gets his innervate.
But there's still a chance for Dogok to die in the following turn with PO if the Doomguard survives against this Ragnar. So this Rag has a lot of work to do.
Sure does. Come on, Rag.
But
Make
it's a
us
50-50
proud.
now instead of 25% chance or even lower. So let's do this. Rag or bust. Really.
A Rag or bust.
This has to kill
on.
Doomguard.
Oh!
That is it.
Oh, gosh. And then power overwhelming. That's going to be it. Wow. I can't. Rag has let him down here, but it has definitely let Lojom live to see one more round. Lojom finally gets to put a score on the scoreboard.
Yep, and I mean, this is just what happens when the Doomguard comes down at turn 5 and stays there for 3 additional turns.
Yeah.
How much damage does that Doomguard do? Like 5?
5, well,
Another
5.
another 5.
15.
15 plus PO, so it was 19 damage, I think.
Yeah.
That was insane.
You know, Rag had 3 opportunities to get rid of this card, and I think Lojom slipped Rag a little something. There must have been some sort of dealing going on there because
Maybe.
Rag was definitely on Lojom's side in that case.
Especially the last one. That was a 50-50. And
Yeah.
oh, man.
How do you... Whew.
And Dogok lost that bat again. So we are going to move on to another game.
Yes.
And hopefully not the last one if Lojom does grab a win again.
Yeah, that's... Lojom, again, this was a very, very important win. Obviously, Dogok probably very disappointed. He wanted to get that clean 4-0 like he did yesterday, got a 3-0. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen for Dogok. We're going to go into game number 5 and see, you know, if Lojom can win this one out too and just keep himself in the game.
Yeah, Lojom does know that Dogok only has 3 left, so he can just find his matchups and bring whatever favorite classes he wants to bring and get going.
Yep. And, I mean, I'm sure he's already, he knows what to expect, pretty much. So we're going to have to get into game number 5 and see how this is going to work out. Whew. I see a shaman and I see a druid. He's going to bring his shaman to face the druid.
Yeah, this is traditionally, it has always been a good matchup for shaman, especially the aggro druid because they have so many good minions like Totem Golem and Flame with Faceless. Oh, even Tunnel Trog. Wow. And Rag in the starting hand again.
No, Rag and 2 living roots. Dogok's just like... Ugh.
At least he does have the wild growth and He has a second living roost to use as removal, hopefully.
All right, we're going to start with a Finley.
함께 모험을 떠나보시죠.
And what's he go with? He's going to go with the life tap. Okay.
So Lojom can go for something like Tall Truck coining out Totem Golem, but I think it definitely wants to coin out Flame with Faceless at turn 3. Because that card can do wonders unless it get mulched.
Right.
Oh, is it gonna use the coin?
He's squeezing coin. And really bring out the
I don't know
Why the
about
Tunnel
that
Truck?
line of play. I mean, he could have just used he could have just played Tunnel Truck and Totem Golem if he wanted to go this route. Interesting.
He's just going to swipe out the entire board.
Not the entire board,
Oh.
but leave the 2/2 on the board. Wow.
Huh.
I mean, who cares about throwing down the Tunnel Truck for free when you get another one on the board?
Wow. And the Totem Golem.
But you are gonna get, but Lojom is gonna get overloaded once again next turn, so he cannot play Flame with Faceless again. So Joe can use Swipe and Living Roost and leave the 2/1 Flame Juggler on the board. He could play Drake as well.
Drake and just see what card he gets. I mean, is it worth using the swipe here? Or do you want to save it for later, possibly if the board gets too big again?
Well, you're never gonna get a very clean swipe target.
That's very
as
true.
turns continue. He's definitely debating it. He's just probably worried about if he plays Azure Drake, and if Lojom plays something like Lava Burst to kill off the Drake, then he can't really deal with the board, and they take so much damage that way.
All right, he's going to tap, see what he gets. Feral Spirits.
That Flame with Faceless, though, it could have been on the board at turn 3 with a coin, but
He didn't decide to go that route,
See,
but
this is what I
nice.
meant. You cannot give so many turns to Shaman and Druid. Like, you just have to put down the Flame of Faceless as soon as you can, especially against Druid. I thought Dogok might even save this Innervate for next turn and play his Ragnar's, but decides not to. He just wants to protect his Drake.
All right, now he's got 2.
The first one, Dogok's gonna mulch. The second one, Dogok's gonna snipe with Ragnar's, right? This time it should do some work.
Oh, I don't know, man. Rag.
It's about time.
It's about time Rag may do something for Dogok in his favor.
How do you like? Oh no, Dogok's just gonna take his seat. All right. Wow.
Whoa!
This is interesting, but that is a 9-mana play, so we are gonna have to wait a lot of turns to see that actually happen in action.
All right, Dogok, what are you gonna do?
I don't think Lojom is gonna be able to play King Crush in this matchup, really.
That would be really epic to see it, though.
The rag is gonna come down in the next turn, so I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think the game's gonna last that long.
All right,
Let's see what happens.
Will Rag actually play in Dogok's favor?
I know this
That is
rag
the-
matters so much too. Once again,
This is the eternal question here.
Let's
4
go,
to
Sniper.
the face. Oh,
what is he thinking about?
I don't know.
Oh, he's probably thinking about if it's worth it to use the Innervate and Hero Power, get that 1 extra armor. Decides to get 1
Yep.
extra armor.
And
Yeah, this way he doesn't die to pretty much anything.
come on, come on. Yes, thank
Good
you.
rag, finally.
Thank you, Ragnaros, for actually doing something to favor the guy who played you. All right, so how does Lojom play this now?
I don't think Lojom's gonna survive until he gets to play King Crush
Crush?
and Smork. I mean, he might play it to kill off the Ragnars, but I don't know. I don't think we're gonna see it.
I mean, how can he protect himself in this situation?
Just play as many minions as possible. Doomhammer has to sit on there and just wait at Lojom's hand for now. Wow.
Oh, very nice.
All right, so maybe we are going to see the King Crush come down against all these shills that are going on.
Love it. Come on, Rag. Tap down, but Lojom realizes there's probably not much he could do. I would have loved to have seen that King Crush, to be completely honest with you. But nice. Dogok makes it. He wins. He wins this matchup.
Is going to move on to the winner's bracket, and I guess he's done for the day.
Yeah, he is done for the day. He can go home, and I want to say he can rest up, but most likely he'll go home and start thinking about what decks he's going to have to play next and see if he could just keep things fresh and new.
At least this time, each of the players get another extra week to figure out what decks they want to play and get to watch some VODs and get to learn their opponents. So that's a good thing.
That's definitely a good thing. Dogok, like we know, he just played yesterday, and then he had to like hop in here today to play, and I'm amazed at the fact that he was able to do that. But then again, because he kept playing competitively, maybe it just kept him sharper, you know? And Lojom had this whole week to just kind of prepare at home and not really just be in that competitive spirit.
Maybe that is true. And Dogok is the only one who has also made it to HearthStone Masters Season 6, which is starting in a couple of days. So if you really like Dogok and want to see more of him, you can always go watch him too.
Oh, absolutely. I think that would be fantastic. Get him some more fans.
Some saltiness coming out from Dogok and a lot of bad lust from him.
Oh, well, he seems like a great player. We've obviously been watching him play fantastically so far. And yeah, you guys just definitely catch him again over at the Hearthstone Masters when it starts in a few days. HearthStone will be there as well to guide you through and to have you cheer for Dogok. But yeah,
me cheer for Team Zombie in general.
But that was fantastic play. So the score 4-1. Sorry, 4-1, and Dogok takes that win. But I believe we're going to take a short little break, and then we will be back with Icarus versus Transit. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.